Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about solving two-step equations, and this is very important. This one's a little bit trickier than just single step, and this is how we're going to be doing all other equations in the future, which if you're in my period 4 or my period 6, they're going to get pretty difficult. So let's go ahead and get started. Your objective for this video is, as a student, you should be able to solve two-step equations. Alright. You need graphic organizer number 5. It should not say one step, it should say two-step equations. It looks like the picture that you have on your screen. Let's move on. All right, there's some very important information. All right, as you can see on the screen, there's a picture that says, keep calm and PEMDAS backwards. Now, that's going to be really important because when you guys are doing equations, in order to do the inverse operations, you're actually going to do PEMDAS backwards. So before we had parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. And that's always really good, except for when you're doing equations. When you're trying to solve an equation, you're actually unraveling it, and you have to do the opposite operations. So you're actually going to start at adding and subtracting and move your way up forward. All right, and you're going to see that in my video quite a bit today. So let's go ahead and move on. All right, so we have examples number 1 through 3. I'm going to show you. Remember, we have PEMDAS backwards. It's going to be really, really important. So I'm going to write that down here just to make sure that I can reference it throughout this. All right, so here we go. So as with any equation, just like I told you before, you always draw your line. Second thing you need to do is you're going to need to identify what side your variable is on. Well, your variable is on this side right here. It's with 8n. Now, we're going to do PEMDAS backwards. So if you notice, what we're saying is this means multiply, and this is adding 7. Okay, so PEMDAS backwards means that you are going to do what's at the bottom of PEMDAS first. So do we have adding and subtracting? Yeah, we have adding up here. So we have to take care of that one first. All right, so instead of adding 7, we do the inverse operation, which is subtracting. So we're going to go ahead and subtract 7 to both sides. And then we're going to write the next step, which this goes away. 8n comes down. 31 minus 7 is 24. All right, now we do the next step. So we still have multiplying. Remember, we need to get our variable by itself. So the opposite of multiplying by 8 is dividing both sides by 8. We need to show it. That gives us n. Okay, because we're going to cross out, and n equals 3. And that should be our answer, and we need to go ahead and put it in to check it. Does 8 times 3 plus 7, 8 times 3 is 24, plus 7, yep, that does equal 31. We are good. So your answer I've already circled. We're good to go. Step number 2. Same thing, draw your line, find your variable. Yep, there we go. Remember, PEMDAS backwards, so we do the subtraction before we do the multiplying, and we're going to do the opposite operation. So instead of subtracting 9, we're going to add 9 to both sides. And if we do that, we have 9 plus 9 on this side, which gives us 18. Negative 9 plus 9 just goes away, and we have 9n equals 18. Now, I know you probably know the answer at this time, but you still need to show your steps to get your points. Remember, I will not give you points if you don't show your steps. How do we get rid of 9 times n? Well, we do the opposite operation, or the inverse operation, which is dividing both sides by 9. That gives us n equals 2, and that is your answer. All right, next one. This one's a little bit more difficult. It looks a little funny. All right, here we go. Draw our line. Find our variable. Well, our variable's over here. All right, same thing. We do PEMDAS backwards, so we have to do adding and subtracting first. We get rid of that. The opposite of subtracting 10 is adding 10. That's going to give us n over 2 equals 16. Now, we have n divided by 2. How do we get rid of division? Well, we do the opposite operation, which is multiplying by 2. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2. And that's going to give us n, because this is going to go away. N is going to drop down. 16 times 2 is 32. And you should check it. 32 divided by 2 is 16, and 16 minus 10 is 6. All right, there you go. Those are your first 3. Let's move on. A little bit harder now. Okay? All right. Actually, they're not that much harder, but here we go. We've got number 4 and 5. Same thing. Draw your line. All right. Find your variable. Ooh, it's on the right side this time. Doesn't matter. We still need to put stuff on the other side. All right. What is attached to that? Well, we have 4m minus 5. We need to get rid of the minus 5 first. We do that by doing the inverse operation, which is plus 5 to both sides. So that's going to give us 15 plus 5, which is 20. The 5 and the 5 are going to go away, and that's going to give us 4m. Now, how do we get rid of the 4m? Well, 4m means multiply. So you got to do the opposite operation, which is divide by 4. on both sides, and that's going to give you 5 equals m, and that is your answer. Congratulations. You can always check it. Throw it in there. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 minus 5 is 15. We are good. All right, last one. Here we go. Draw my line. Yay, congratulations. All right, find my variable. Yay, found it on there. All right, what's attached to it? Well, we have 2 plus v over 4. Now, we have to be careful. We have to look at this number. This number is a positive number, okay? It doesn't necessarily just mean plus 2. It's a positive number. All right, so how do we get rid of positive 2 or plus 2? Well, we subtract 2 to both sides. So 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 equals v over 4. All right, that gives us our next one. So this gets crossed out. Next, v divided by 4. How do we get rid of divided by 4? Well, we multiply it by 4 to both sides. 1 times 4 is 4, and 4 equals v. All right, so you should have 4 equals v. Go ahead and put it in there. 2 plus 4 over 4 is 3. Yeah, we're good. All right, so we're done. Those are your answers. Those are your 5. Congratulations. All right, now, independent practice. It is your turn. Pause the video. Really quickly pause the video, do these 6, and then check them when you're done. Actually watch the entire video. Don't be a loser. Jace and Brady. All right, I'm back. Here we go. Let's check it. All right, we're going to subtract 6 from both sides, which gives us 3x equals 12. You should have divided by 3 from both sides, and you should have gotten x is equal to 4. Number 2. All right, you're going to draw your line. Find the x's over here. Get rid of the adding 10 first. So you subtract 10. That gives you 24. 4x equals 24. How do you get rid of 4 times x? You divide by 4. Both sides, x equals 6. I know I'm moving fast. X equals 6 is our answer. Number 3, draw our line. Find our variable. We have to get rid of the stuff attached to it. Let's get rid of adding 3 by subtracting 3 both sides. So we get 2x is equal to 16. We need to divide both sides by 2, and that gives us x equals 8. There you go. Number 4, here we go. Draw my line, x, subtract 8 to both sides. It's going to give us 72. 6x is equal to 72. How do we get rid of 6 times x? We divide by 6. That gives us x equals 12. That's what you should have gotten. Next one, 2 left. Go ahead and draw your line, find your variable. The opposite of subtracting 6 is adding 6, so we're going to add 6 to both sides. That gives us x over 2 is equal to 18. How do we get rid of dividing by 2? Well, we multiply both sides by 2, and that's going to give me x equals 36. Double check your answer. 36 divided by 2 is 18. 18 minus 6 is 12. Congratulations, we're good to go. Last one. Hopefully you still got it going. Draw a line. Find your variable. Add z. We're going to move on. All right. So opposite of adding 8 is subtracting 8. That's going to give you 20. And z over 5 is equal to 20. All right, z over 5. How do we get z over 5? Well, we need to multiply both sides by 5. Multiply both sides by 5. That's going to give you z is equal to 100, and that should have been your answer. All right, hopefully you didn't screw that one up and try to tell me it's 4. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are still having problems, you need to come see me. But as of right now, you have this X ticket. You need to show these both to me before you move on. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day. This is 2-step equations. Hopefully you got it figured out. Thank you.